here we can see some of the buildings. The astronomy for Zapotecos, it was very important. It was not as developed as the Mayan one, but the influence of these Mayans on the Zapotecs, it is found here. This is the only one building which is different to the others. It has the shape of an arrowhead in the base. It is moved from the original alignment 45 degrees, so it's pointing to the south, southwest. Also, in the distance you can get to see some stones. Those are carved stones. The name for those is the dancers. So the dancers, it is the first name because the archaeologists, they saw people represented in different positions and they thought that it was a dance represented. So after many years they could see with more time, and they found the tongues out of the mouth, and well, they got the conclusion that they were suffering like torsion, like no, like epileptic attacks. So they were suffering probably this epileptic. Also, they had other problems like a big hunchback. Other persons represented on the floor, like swimming. So the name for those is the swimmers as well, but it is just because of the position, how they are represented. Another important thing that was found, it is the figure of a woman giving birth. The traditional way to give birth in the past, it was standing. So the women are in this position and are represented pregnant. In one of these cases, the baby's head, it is still inside the woman, and the baby's legs are outside. So it's a breech birth represented. Probably this was just a record of the different diseases which they did suffer in that time in order to be known and studied later. So it was those were carved on 500 BC, so are very old, from the beginning of the construction of Monte Alban as well. So right here we find different elements of the knowledge in medicine by Zapotecos. Also, there were found some skulls with trephanations. So the problem, it is to know the technique to make the holes, because they didn't have a drill to make the holes in the head. And also, what was the technique to make people don't feel the pain. So they probably used any hallucinogenic plant or for anesthetic, and to avoid them to feel the pain. So nowadays that is a surgery to free the pressure of the brain when it gets bigger. We don't know if they used with the same purpose. Some people think that it was a kind of formative or informative medicine, just to look inside the head of the people with those differences. Other people consider this a religious reason to free a bad spirit inside of the body of this person. So what we know is that they probably used very hard stones like rock crystal or silex, and by friction in the head they did the hole, or they hit these stones in the bone. So in the museum you will get to see a perfect circle, almost close back. So in order to allow this, the person must be alive. So they did survive to this surgery, and there are some skulls with these trephanations in the Museum of Monte Alban. So this is just you could say short information, general information of the lifestyle of the Zapotecs. Unfortunately, the place, it was abandoned, and there is not many elements to obtain information about the Zapotec culture in Monte Alban. So there are no more excavations. So there are just well, the good maintenance of the archaeological site, and well, the Zapotecos is a group of people that lived from 500 BC in Monte Alban, and they did abandon the place after 800 AD. Some of the reasons to abandon the place could be problems with their priest, and also the different tribes, and also the calendars. So they used to count a religious calendar, And also they used to count they call the sun calendar. Probably it was by cycles of the calendars the reason to abandon the place.